Welcome to another episode of Big Al's Big Tips.
Hello everybody, it's Big Al with some more content on War of Nova. This is my second attempt at this video because the first one, the microphone wasn't working. So, this video is going to be a Rise to War comparison. Terminology wise, I'm also going to do a how-to. I'm pretty much going to explain a lot of the basics. Okay, so first and foremost, the most popular. Ships. These are your commanders. Emberhelm is one that everybody likes to refer to as the Gandalf the Grey of War of Nova. So, ships are your commanders. If we go into the ship, you have officers. This is your gear. You have a command, combat, engineering, and support officer. A support officer is just like the accessories. It will be a little bit less of a drop rate for supports because there are less support commanders, just like in Rise to War. Now, if you go into a commander, you have your stats. You also have a skill here that you can augment. I'm going to go more into that in a minute. On your ship, you have your different stats. You have power, initiative, elemental. Elemental is like focus in Rise to War. On this game, you have um, radiation and energy. Those are your elemental damage. Power is going to be your standard attacks, which is just like physical. Okay? You have mastery levels, not respect levels. Ship level 40 is the same. You are using fuel, not stamina, like in Rise to War. And mastery on the items, they are called schematics, not respect items. Okay? You do have the different rarities, levels. You have rare, epic, legendary for the different ships. Same thing with commanders. Let's go and look at the inventory. On commanders, you have green ones, you have blue ones, then you have purple and gold. Now, this part is going to be a little bit more confusing, a little bit better too. Okay, here I have on my blues. As you can see, I have a skill. But I can enhance this, which is strengthening. I cannot augment, which would be refining on the blue tier, green or blue tier officers. You can enhance. Now that I'm in the hands, he is upgraded. I could hit unassign a crew and it will give me back all of the officers that I put inside of him. It is a free elven hammer. There is no elven hammers needed in this game. You can build officers and break them down whenever you want. Now, I want to show you something else. Let me scroll down here to one of my officers that I have. Okay, this is the same thing. Enhance is strengthening, augment is refining. Now, as you can see, you have this skill here. When you go to augment, okay, it's going to increase this skill to 3%. But here is the difference. As you can see, I put a Pythagoras inside of here that has power boost as the skill, which gave power plus 3. Anytime I want, I can activate this skill instead of the damage received minus 2%. That's pretty awesome. Like I said, I can unassign. So, there is the information about the ships, the commanders. You have the officers, which is the gear. You have the schematics that are the respect items. Some of the basics as well. You have 2 relocation tokens at the beginning of the season. You can buy more for 500 gems inside of the daily discounts tab. Now, we're going to go up here. You have your different resources. You have water. You have titanium. This is like your stone in Rise to War. You have gas and you have minerals. This is like the food inside Rise to War. Next, you have Helion. This is your ability points. Okay, you start with 10 and you can upgrade them through your ring, which I will show you in a minute. Okay, you still have season chapters and they progress as you finish them. They are also is on a timer, so if you don't complete it, it will bypass it when the timer's up. If you complete the task on that chapter, it will finish automatically and go to the next one, and so on and so on. About the seasons, it's the same as Rise to War. It's about 40 to 60 days. Okay, you'll have 1 to 2 days after the cutoff ends. You have the store here, which is just like in Rise to War. You can buy gold. You can buy the battle pass here, which is $20 on this game. You have your daily discounts. You get a free item every day. You have requisition order. Okay, these are your Matham tokens, what you use to open chests. You use fuel, not stamina, in this game. There is some limited time offers. They will be rolling out with more offers as time goes on. I'm going to go to the chest now. You have Sovereign and Dominion. You have good side and you have evil side. Same as in Rise to War. You get one free pool from one of the chests each day. Then you get a half priced. It is 400 gold for one requisition order, just like in Rise to War. You do have a wish list. Next, chapters. Okay, same as Rise to War. You have chapters to complete. This will give you different resources. It also gives you tile capacity. You have the battle pass. You have the free, which is the top, and you have the paid one, which is on the bottom, which is 20 bucks currently. And at this moment, for this season, they are giving everyone who entered this season a free battle pass, which is still available. Somebody did it last night of time of recording. You have an achievements thing with different tasks, number of strafecraft units fabricated, 150 tiles taken. This will give you resources as well. Okay, you have this control button here. You have your infrastructure, which is your building, you have your hospital, and you have fabrication, which is your barracks, pretty much what you're building. You have mail, same as in Rise to War. The reports are a lot different. They are a little bit bugged and the visual glitches, but they are being worked on. And you can go through them and click details, and it will tell you, the different details, summaries, combat logs. Well, if I would have picked a tile that I've taken, not just siege that I've done. Inventory. Like I was saying, you have the green, blue, purple, and gold. You have your schematics, you have your consumables, you have, your speed ups, a full fuel pack, stamina, okay? Stam pots is what we call them in Rise to War. Okay, I've gone that way. They are guilds inside of War of Nova, not fellowships. Challenges. Challenges is like the red book inside of Rise to War. For easy and medium, it gives you resources for your rewards. On hard, it gives you schematics for that ship that you defeat. On elite, it gives you a schematic and a requisition order for a Matham pool, the opening of a chest. You have your leaderboards just like in Rise to War. You have your map. If you click on the map, here you go is the big map. You can zoom in, things like that. We'll come back to this because I have more to explain about the map later. Okay, now up here on this top left, you have a profile picture. Okay, you click on it. This is your ring. Just like in Rise to War, different trees open up depending on what level you are. This one opens up right away. This one opens up at level 10, level 30, and level 50. There's different parts to it. Like this has your tile capacity. You have free 5-minute build times. Then you have power initiative and elemental damage here. Over here you have Helion. You have resources. You can mine. On level 30, this is an important one. Ships start with 120 fuel, stamina in Rise to War. At level 30, you can upgrade the fuel tanks so you get an extra 30, which would give them an extra 100, give them a total of 150 fuel. You also have war games. This is mind sharpening in War of Nova. Over here, you have outposts. Those are your forts. And you can do fabrication time, your reinforcement time. Over here, movement speed. You have warp systems, and this is so that you can grant a speed bonus to a battle group when deploying it. So it's quick march. Then you have your profile, where it tells you your information. This is also where you change your name. If you click this button, you can change your name. That is important for the first day of play. Now I'm going to show you a couple how-tos. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, first, to get inside your base, you can click on your base and click enter, or you can just, watch this, double click on the station button down here and it goes into it. First, you have your infrastructure, which is your buildings. It is the same as Rise to War. Command center. Then you have your resource buildings. You have your hangar, fabrication bay. This is the capacity. Fabrication is the command limit that you can train. Command equals troops. Okay. 1.0 Rise to War, that's what the word command meant. In 2.0, it had to do with unit damage received and given. But in War of Nova, it's like Rise to War 1. It is the amount of troops. You have a storage, you have your hospital. Now over here you have Vanguard. This is my starting race, is Vanguard. You have squadrons. These are your quarters. Vanguard, Eldarin, Terra, Stonar, Arcos, Ogrox, Tyrannus, Omega. Then you have 3 bays inside each one. This is important. It gives you different troops. I'm going to show you Vanguards really quick because this is not all of them are like this. You have your strike craft, okay, your units. This one is called a dagger. But if you look over here, it's a close range strike craft. It is also light. So the sizes in Rise to War are small, medium, large. Inside of War of Nova, it is light, medium, and heavy. So this is important, okay? And then you have your stats, the abilities, okay? You have, if I go to the next one, you have your tier 2 to close range light, with better stats, and then same thing with going on to the third one. Now on here, this one is a close range medium unit. So it's pretty much your cavalry unit. And as you can see, command per unit is 2. So it's going to have better stats. And then going to tier 2, tier 3 of those medium units, stats and everything get better. Now here, this is an important one, is the Warhammer. This is a close range heavy unit. So it's a large unit. Large units are very important in this game. They help tremendously with farming. So you like to rush these. Now, one of the similarities, another similarity I should say, is right here is the Morning Star. It's close range, it's the tier 3 heavy. Now look here at this skill. First 3 rounds, defense plus 250, and take all damage from standard attacks on behalf of allies. Doesn't that sound familiar? That's from Swan Knights. Okay. Now this number will increase when the squadrons, when the quarters levels up. When it gets to level 9, I believe this goes to 275, and level 10 is 300, I believe, but I could be wrong on the actual numbers. Now, I'm going to go to Eldarin, and I'm only using this as an example. This is the mage. It is their tier 1. It is a long range. So these are your archers, your axe throwers. Okay? It's the light, small unit. Okay? So there's that. Again, squadrons are considered quarters, and then you have the different bays for the different units. Not all of them go light, medium, heavy. Like this up here, Bay 1 is light units. If I go to here to Bay 2, this is medium units. Now let me go to Bay 3. This is a light unit. This is the Eldarin's close range, but it is a light unit. So it's not always small, light, medium, heavy. Okay. I am trying to rush through this a little bit. If you go in the command center, it just gives you all your different stats. Forts are outposts in War of Nova. This is where I would go if I wanted to change races as well. Strikecraft, this is where you fabricate, where you train troops or scrap the troops. You do not gain resources if you scrap them. But fabricating, you just go into a screen here and you take the slider and you slide it whichever way you want. And here it tells me the time. I would make 6 of them. It would take me 47 minutes. And here is the resources it costs. Up here is my hangar capacity. And then same thing, if I wanted to make mages too, I would just change that slider. I'm going to go ahead and start those now. Battle groups, this is where you would go to create armies. I would have my ships listed here. I would click on it and then I would type edit. And then I would have 3 slots that I could put strike crafts. Sometimes you're going to want a monostack with just one kind of unit. Sometimes you're going to want multiple units on your thing. Here is your repair bay, your hospital, the marketplace. Okay, this is only for resources. As you can see, 100 minerals will give me 80 water. So it is a 10 to 8 resource trade, which is better than what Rise to War is when it starts out. It will always be this. It does not change. Now, we're going to talk about some of the basics on how to. Let's look at this level 10 tile. As you can see right here, attack, it is not an option for me because it is not connected. It has to have a green, blue, or purple tile next to it in order to be able to attack it. And that is to capture it. And then it will also over here tell you if it's very easy, easy, evenly matched, hard, or very hard. This is not always accurate, so you know. But it is kind of a good indicator. It costs 20 stamina, 20 fuel to move, to attack a mob, to take a tile. It's always 20. And I would just click attack. And as you can see, it tells you the ones that are out of range. Now, I'm going to go to the map real quick. There is my base right there. Now, say I wanted to take a tile over here. I cannot take this tile if the ship is inside my base. I have to move it to the fort before I could take it inside this area. You have planets and stations. These are your keeps. Okay, as you can see, it's a planet. Some of them look like space stations. Now let me show you this over here. I'm just going to go into this one. As you can see, I have 2 different kinds of units on here. This shows your overall skill tree. It shows your officers. It shows how much siege damage you will. And this number is correct. So you know that's something Rise to War could never get right. Did I show you the skill tree? inside of the ships. Just in case, these unlock as soon as you unlock the ship. These are at Mastery 3. These unlock at Mastery 5. So you have your main and then your subcategory skills. This also shows all of your stats. Okay, mastery, not respect. Fuel, not stamina. Elemental is radiation and energy damage. Power is standard or physical damage. And I'm pretty sure I showed those already. Okay, let's see really quick. I am going to send an attack over here, and this is going to be siege. If it says it's hard, if those defenders weren't killed, it would be hard for this ship to do anything. So it gives you a chance to back out. And that's because I'm full on tiles. But I'm going to go ahead and send these really quick to siege. Okay. Now let's go over here and show you this. I am going to go back here and I'm going to go scroll up here to this 300 tile. Tech Ops, ring abilities. You can stockpile the resources, which costs 3 Helion, okay? Or I can mine it, which costs 1. And it would give me 84,000 instead of the 65 if I used stockpile. It does use the stamina down here, tells you the Helion. Here is your march time. Now, there's another one, War Games. This is mind sharpening. It costs 2 Helion for 10 minutes and I would get 45k. Or I can adjust it like this. Okay. Helion is ability points in case I didn't say that before. I can this is all of your ships that are outside of the base. You can click on them and it will quickly go to it. There is no, like if I hit station, there is no button for me to go back to what I was looking at. So I would have to either go to the map or click on the ship again to get there. I think that's about it for it. I showed you. Oh, yeah, I showed you how to do that. Okay, I got another thing. Of course, those ones are going. Let me go to him. Here is your reinforce button. As you can see, it has 3 spots. I can put up to 3 different kinds of units on it. I can do this and empty it while he's on the field of battle. He doesn't have to be in a fort. He doesn't have to be at base. I can also change units, or I should say add units. Say I wanted to put these Lancers on here. I drag it up there, and then I use the scroll button to put however many I want in there. If you do this, it is not the reinforced marching time. This would be the marching time for those units to get to this ship. So say I started out with just these. If I wanted to get them there, say it would take 20 minutes. Now I'm going to add Lancers to it. It would take an hour and 20 minutes or something like that. Those are just random numbers to explain the difference. So, with certain ships, sometimes you're going to want to use monostacks. Sometimes you'll want to use 2. Sometimes you'll want to use 3. Sometimes you'll want to use all close range or a tank and 2 range units. It just depends on the ship. And remember, the ships are like the commanders. You have your chat down here. You have Galaxy, which is your world chat. You have, hopefully nothing important is being said. You have Galaxy, which is world. You have Faction and Guild, which is your fellowship. Okay. You have your private messages here. You cannot create channels as of this moment. Same thing with your forts. You can upgrade them, but you cannot speed them up. The bigger they are, the more they will hold, as in unit ships. You cannot store troops inside of them. I think that is it for me on this video. We went over some of the terminology that's the same or comparable to Rise to War and War of Nova. We talked about how to take tiles and they have to be connected. We've talked about forts. We've talked about the ring. We've talked about a lot of stuff on this video in a very short time. I hope this helps people off the bat. I know a lot of us are used to Rise to War, so if you can try to relate some of these terms to how it was in Rise to War, it might make it easier for you to make the switch. So, with that being said, make the most out of what you got.